Hey everybody, it's Tim again, and thank you to everybody for tuning into my Creature from the Black Lagoon review, the ultimate NECA Creature from the Black Lagoon figure. And I tell you what, the hits keep coming from NECA. Now we have another Universal monster, maybe the oldest Universal monster when you're considering when it came out, 1925, the Phantom of the Opera, of course starring Lon Chaney Sr. as the Phantom of the Opera. And, of course, we had Mary Philbin as Christine Daae. Yes, this is the classic Phantom of the Opera story. This one, obviously, more with a horror bend. And, of course, Lon Chaney Sr. brought that role to life with this classic 1925 film. Now, this is the color edition of the Phantom of the Opera. A black and white version will be coming as well. But let's first start with the box. And as you can see, we have the classic poster art. And just going to turn this for you instead of going the turntable route. We get one of the portraits there. But this is the amazing thing. They actually have 4 different portraits for this release, which I think is brilliant. I mean, most of the time we're going to get 3, but obviously we have the 4th Phantom portrait with the mask on. And I don't know if you could ever get enough portraits for the actual Phantom unmasked, because Lon Chaney Sr. was obviously the man of 1,000 faces. He was so expressive in every role that he was in. And I'm just glad that they got these classic looks here in addition to this masked look. So we got another look at this portrait here. And now I'm going to open it up for you. Again, the classic poster art. I love it. And here we go. As you can see, this is a soft goods cape here, much like the Dracula release with Bela Lugosi. And here we always have this issue with glare, but as best as you can see, we have 2 sets of hands. Additionally, 1, 2, 3, 4 portrait sculpts. We got a hat and we have a cane. So I'm going to give you a quick close-up of these. And of course, we're going to get those in greater detail once I open this box. Now, of course, you can see right here, he's accompanied by all the releases so far, apart from Elsa Lanchester's Bride of Frankenstein. I actually reviewed a black and white version. I got that one ahead of time. And I will be reviewing the color version. And then, of course, she will be joining the Rogues Gallery of Universal Monsters once I get that one done. But I was really excited to get this in front of you since this one is relatively new. So stay with me, and I'll come back with my review of NECA's The Phantom of the Opera, and a big thanks to NECA for supplying this sample for me so I can review it for you. Okay, I'm back with the NECA Ultimate Phantom of the Opera. Of course, Lon Chaney Sr.'s classic role from 1925. And like all of the other Universal Monsters figures that NECA has produced, man, I've been looking forward to this forever. In a way, I'm kind of glad that these things are spread out a little bit. I mean, it wouldn't be any fun if we got them all at once. I mean, this is just the latest in hopefully what will continue as a long line of action figures from the company. And again, big thanks to NECA for sending me this sample. So I'm going to give you a 360 first without the cloak. As you can see, this thing is expertly detailed as usual. Now, by mistake, I said 4 portraits. That doesn't mean 4 portraits total. There's actually 4 extra portraits. There's 4 portraits of the Phantom unmasked, but there's also the one of him masked. So that's 5. I mean, that's really, really crazy if you think about it. Again, generally we'll get a couple, 3 extra of, you know, like the Wolfman. You got a couple extra apart from the main one, as well as the Lon Chaney Jr. version. So I love it that there's really no limitations as far as, you know, the accessories, the extras that they include with these releases. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put on the cape just to give you an idea. Remove the head first. Oh, there we go. And again, comes with the cane and the hat. Whoops, and there goes one of the extra portraits there. And believe me, I will get to a closer look of every single one of these. But first of all, I want to get this cape on the Phantom, or cloak, whatever you prefer. Okay. And the head pops off relatively easily, pops back on easily. You really can't see the string around there, which is fine anyway. I don't care if you can see the string. And what you have here is a wired outline of the cape. You don't get that with Dracula, but you get that one with this one, which is really, really cool. And that wiring only is included in this on the sides of the cape for those more dynamic poses, I suppose, when the Phantom dashes in and out of the room. Now you can see with the hands, this is more of a, what would you say, a conductor's pose when he's conducting Christine? I don't know. But obviously there is a hand that will fit the cane better. And that's not it. There we go. So we're going to take care of that here. There we go. It's more snug in there. And of course we can put on the hat. And let me give you a quick 360. Whoop, there goes the cane out of his hand. I'm sure that there we go. That works. Okay, let me give you a quick 360 of this before I show you the other portraits. Again, I think this is a terrific improvement, over the Dracula cape. Hopefully, maybe in future releases, they'll do this. Just again, as you can see, the cape for Dracula in the back, it sort of drapes over the costume. Here, at least with this, you can pose it in a way that it's not going to cover up the details. Now, you don't want it to, because again, they put a lot of work into these figures, and you want to see it look at its finest. So I love those extras there. And see if we can push his arm down. Well, we're going to just take that out of there for now. And take this off of here and remove this. Well, before I do that, let's just give you a close-up. I guess you could call this the more apprehensive look of the Phantom. There we go. Kind of looking off to the side. Kind of a look of worry, I guess you could say. Now, in the background, as you can see, well, let's go with this one first, because this is the masked version. And again, that slips on relatively easy. Yeah, isn't that cool? You can see there's details under there. I mean, just the painting is brilliant. You can see his teeth under there. You know, most of the time when you think of the Phantom of the Opera, you think of these white masks, maybe a half masks. I'm thinking, the Andrew Lloyd Webber version, the stage musical, maybe has given the impression that that was the original mask. No, this is actually it right here. And sort of, I guess you could say, a skull cap or whatever. And we could put the hat on there, which is really cool. And of course, when Christine removes that mask, he had the look of horror, which is probably this. And that is so great. Isn't that great? It's just amazing detail. And look at the shading there and everything. It's just amazing, amazing stuff. So yeah, I'm really loving this figure so far, and I think that I'm just going to love it even more by the time I get through all the other portraits. Yeah. And, basically the side, I should have given more of a side version with the other ones here. There we go. And the back, they all have that male pattern baldness look on the back. I know that look well because I sport it in person. Of course, this video is not about me. The video is about the figure. I don't know if it really concerns you to see a sharp close-up of a male pattern baldness, but there you go. And there you go again there. Let's take that one off. I guess this is more of the serious look of the Phantom. This is portrait number 4 of 5. And again, the portraits are everything with these figures. I mean, if they're off in any sort of way, it renders the rest of the figure kind of meaningless, you know? I mean, you have to have these figures look like Karloff's Frankenstein's monster. You have to have them look like Bela Lugosi's Dracula. I mean, the alternate head portrait for Lon Chaney Jr. is so spot on with the Wolfman. So you really need to have those as spot on as possible. And again, you get this with the accentuated cheekbones here and the shading and the teeth and the eyes, the gaunt look, that look of dread, I guess. I don't know what else you would say. Now let's go with the 5th and final portrait. This seems to be like more of the comical Phantom look, like, all right, more of a sinister, devious look that he's giving right here. I mean, don't you just love that? That is just great stuff. And let's do a closer look at the costume again. As you can see, nice tie there, white shirt, little rope to hold on the tie, I guess you could say. That's permanent. You can't remove that. Obviously, you can remove the cloak. And what's cool here is you got more of a crushed velvet sort of thing for the cape. I should have pointed it out before, but obviously that is what separates this one from the cape that Dracula is wearing in the background. Again, the big difference, and I love the detail with this and the way that you can just give it these dynamic poses because of the wiring in the cape. That's really, really cool. So when I come back, I have a prop that's going to sit in for the eventual organ that the Phantom of the Opera will play. And again, I'm hoping that New York Comic Con, they're going to introduce an accessory set so we get more of that for the Phantom. Who knows, maybe even a boat to go through the underground canal that he sails through. But I'd take an organ first, but I'll be back with one final look at the Phantom of the Opera, the ultimate figure from NECA. And again, thank you to NECA for providing this sample for me, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back with the final look at the ultimate Phantom of the Opera action figure from NECA. Of course, Lon Chaney Sr.'s one of his many great roles, and probably one of his most memorable roles. Of course, we have the London After Midnight Professor Burke action figure, the Lost film. That figure, again, Lon Chaney Sr., that one is coming. But for now, we have this one. And again, I love the fact that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 actual Phantom of the Opera portraits. And obviously, the masked version is showing off all the other masked portraits, or the monster, the Phantom portraits here. So one thing I didn't touch on earlier is just the articulation of this figure. I mean, basically everything you'd come to expect from NECA. Obviously, we have the wrists, the elbows, the shoulders, the hips, all right, up top of the legs, the knees, and of course the feet. And there's ball joints down there to move those feet around as well. And of course, this one's as important to pose because we have to sit them at some sort of keyboard. Now, this piano that you see is from the NECA release of Elton John live in '75. Elton, of course, is a retro-sized figure, more of an 8-inch figure. Now, of course, this is a 7-inch scale figure here. And so, yeah, I mean, it still works, obviously, very, very well. And again, it's our hope that at New York Comic Con or sometime in the future that NECA announces an accessory set where we're actually going to get that organ for the Phantom to play, where Christine Daae removes his mask and he has that look of horror. Now, I don't have a Christine Daae action figure yet. Hopefully NECA will produce that one as well. But hey, why not get your Elvira in there to maybe remove that mask? And I'll have some pictures that I'm gonna throw in along with this one to illustrate how cool that would look. But overall, how can you not be satisfied with this figure? I mean, again, the abundance of portraits is amazing. I mean, you got to remember that this is priced at about $34 to $38. Okay. Again, I got the sample. This is a sort of figure I'd purchase without any second thoughts. Okay. You have Hasbro putting out so-called deluxe figures like Boba Fett where they're charging $32, $33. And all you're getting is one measly accessory. Here, obviously, you're getting 5 portraits. You have some high quality stuff with the cape, you know, with the crushed velvet look and the wire and the cape. You have 2 extra sets of hands. You have the cane. You get so much more from your money with NECA. And that's just another reason to collect their stuff. And again, everything is just top notch. I mean, look at these portraits. I don't think that you can ask for anything better. These are amongst the best I've seen. They're all the best. I don't even want to play favorites here. They just do their homework with each and every portrait, and they got to make sure that look is right. So obviously, I've included some photos throughout this to try to recreate some of his classic poses. And of course, you're going to recognize the eyes and the look from one of those photos. You know, and obviously some photos with Christine stand-in Elvira as well. So that's all I have for this release. NECA's Ultimate Phantom of the Opera action figure, 7-inch figure scale from NECA. Again, thank you to NECA for providing the sample for me. Please like this video. Please subscribe to this channel. Please tell all your Universal Monster loving friends, your Phantom of the Opera loving friends, and I'll be back next time with a review of the color version of The Bride of Frankenstein. Happy toy hunting, everybody.